What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Jera4, aka the Rat Lord, and in today's video we're going to be showing the best settings to use in Warzone after the Black Ops 6 integration. Now, if you didn't know, in Warzone, ever since the Black Ops integration, ever since, Warzone Season 1, the game has completely changed. There's a whole new movement system called Omni Movement. Not only that, but aim assist also got nerfed and aim assist also got changed, so the game does play and does feel completely different from Warzone 3 and MW3. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you are using the best settings, and don't worry, your boy got you, because trust me when I tell you, your settings literally make or break this game. Before we get to the settings, I just want to go over some ground rules, get a little credibility right here real quick. As you can see on my friends list on the leaderboards, I am at the top, over 1,000 eliminations, less than 200 deaths. We also have a 5.36 KD, showcasing that I do know what I'm talking about, showcasing that these settings do work. All right, now let's get started with the settings. We're going to start off with the controller settings. As we all know, we all use controller, and like we said, your aim assist, your controller settings are completely different from how it was or how it felt in Warzone 3 and MW3. So we're going to start with the controller settings right here. Now, before we get to the aim assist, before we get to the sensitivity, go over to your graphic settings and go to view. Obviously, first we got to start out with the field of view. Now, you definitely want to be playing at 120, maybe like around 115 to 120. Now, field of view is, your screen is more zoomed out. If the screen is more zoomed out, then therefore you get less recoil, you got less visual jumping of the gun, so you're more likely to hit your shots. You're more likely to put a laser on your enemies. You definitely want to be running 120. Not only that, you want to make sure your ADS field of view is set to affected. Also, your weapon field of view is set to wide. That also, lowers your recoil. Vehicle field of view, you can put that at wide as well. Next up, we got world motion blur, weapon motion blur, turn those off. First person camera movement, put that at least 50%, and I guess you could do the same for third person. Putting it at least 50% means like your screen isn't shaking, so your guy's not doing this. You're more likely to put that laser, put that no recoil laser beam on these boys. Definitely need to be using that setting. Inverted flashbang, I got it on a normal flashbang. I like getting blinded. I don't know, it makes me feel more alive. All right, so let's go over to the controller settings. Now, your boy plays on a 7 sensitivity. Now, I will say that every controller is different. Your boy is playing with the Scuff Envision, okay? I'm playing with like a PC only type of controller. So if you're playing on like an Xbox controller or a PS5 controller, then you definitely want to, tune it. You might need to be playing at 6s, or you might need to be playing at 8s. However, for your boy, I'm rocking 7s. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure for my button layout, I am playing on tactical. That is when instead of crouching with circle, I crouch with the right stick. Also, I do play with swapped bumpers and triggers, meaning I shoot with L1 and R1 instead of L2 and R2. Controller vibration, you want to turn that off. If you have that on, then you, my friend, are sus. Next up, we got dead zone inputs. Now, if you don't know what dead zone inputs is, basically like the tension in your sticks, okay? If you want to flick on your enemies, then you want to make sure that your dead zones are set to the minimum they can be. So for your left stick minimum, I got it all the way set to 0, and for my right stick minimum, I got it set to 2. Your right stick is your aim, so you want to make sure you got a little bit of tension, but not a lot. So you want to set it to the lowest it can be, probably around 2, 3, or 4. However, if you do have stick drift, then I recommend setting this a little higher. That is when your controller's moving by itself. You're always looking to the right or something like that. If you do have stick drift, then you need to increase the right stick minimum. However, like I said, your boy plays with 0 on the left stick minimum. We play with 65 on the left stick max. That's just how everybody has it set up. All the pros I've been seeing, this is how they got it set up, on the left stick for your movement. And then for the right stick max, you want to make sure this is set at 99 for the max. Left trigger and right trigger, we got that set to 0. All right, now let's go over to the aiming settings. For my sensitivity multipliers, I'm pretty sure this is all set to default. However, if you do want to be more accurate, then you might need to lower these just a little bit. So like right here with the ADS sensitivity multiplier, if you want to be more accurate, then you might need to lower it just a little bit. However, your boy, naturally gifted with the shits, we got it set to default. Next up, look inversion on foot, we got that set to standard. Right here, we're going to go to aiming advanced settings. This is where you go and change your aim assist. Now, there is no aim assist option in Warzone with the Black Ops 6 integration. There is only aim response curve type. So for your aim response curve type, you want to make sure that this is set to dynamic. I got it set to 0.94 on the slope scale. Not only that, you want to make sure your ADS sensitivity transitional timing is set to instant. The way the aim assist works in Black Ops 6 is the further the enemy is away from you, the more aim assist you get. So if they're up close to you, you're not really getting that much aim assist. So they did nerf aim assist in Warzone 4 with this Black Ops 6 integration. I'm just letting you know in case you didn't. The more you know. Next up, we got custom sensitivity per zoom. I have this set to off, but the way this works, if you want to turn it on, like let's say you want your snipers to be more, accurate, you want to be more quick with your snipers, then you would turn this up. However, I got it set to off. All right, let's check these other settings. Target aim assist, obviously on. ADS aim assist, obviously on. Motion sensor, advanced settings, you don't want to touch any of that, trust me. Next up, we got our movement settings. Like we said, there is a whole new movement system, a whole new engine in Warzone 4 with the Black Ops 6 integration. We got something called Omni Movement. So you want to make sure you got the right movement settings. Now, for your sprint assist, we are playing on tactical sprint assist. Next up, you want to make sure your sprint assist delay is set to 0. Also, sprint assist sideways, turn that on. Sprint assist backward, turn that on. Next up, we got mantle assist, turn it off. Crouch assist, turn it off. Corner slice, turn it off. Obviously, for the mantle assist, we don't want to be mantling. We don't want to be shooting our gun and then grabbing on something in the back, you know what I'm saying? It just throws off the gunfight. We don't want no mantles whatsoever. Slide and dive behavior, we got it set to hybrid. You want to make sure you are playing on hybrid because, in Warzone 3, we were all just slide canceling. You didn't really need to dive. However, in Black Ops 6, you definitely do need to dive. So you definitely want to be playing on hybrid so you're able to slide and dive at the same time because, with the Omni movement, you could be running to the left, dive to the left. You could be diving backwards, hitting a fadeaway or something like that. So you definitely want to make sure you're playing on hybrid. Next up, we got automatic airborne mantle. You want to make sure that this is turned off. Now, as you can see, the setting is locked, meaning like you can't change it. However, a good way to change this is to reset all your settings, like reset all the movement settings, and then you should see an option to turn this off. But like we said, if you did reset your settings, you want to make sure you want to go back and make sure these are the right settings. Next up, we got sprint restore, turn that on. Slide maintain sprint, turn that on. Parachute automatic behavior, I got it set to off. Next up, we got mantle cancels reload, turn that off. Movement advanced settings, let's go over to these movement advanced settings. Sprint and tactical sprint behavior, we got that set to toggle. Auto move forward, we got that set to off. Auto door peek, we got that set to off. Grounded mantle, like we said, we don't want no mantles, so turn that shit off. Next up, tactical sprint assist activation. This is another huge setting. You want to set it to single tap run. Trust me when I tell you, set this to single tap run. Next up, we got plunging underwater, set to free. Sprinting door bash, you could turn that on. Vehicle behaviors, pretty much all these things are standard. Just copy these settings down if you don't have them. So yeah, these are the movement settings. Like I said, you definitely want to make sure these are all copied down. Double check them if you need to, because movement is everything. Omni movement, a new feature. It is a new skill gap. Now let's go over to the combat controller settings. ADS sight behavior, turn that to hold. Tactical stance behavior on toggle. Pretty much all these settings are standard. So let me see. Body shield and finishing move, we got that set to prioritize the body shield. You already know we be getting sus on this game. We want to be giving these boys some back shots. I don't want to be finishing nobody no more. Pause. We want to be giving back shots. Yeah, we want to be the ones finishing, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's see. Next up, we got armor plate behavior. Turn that to apply all. C4 detonation, turn that to all at once. Equipment behavior, hold. Let's see what else we got. Combat advanced settings. Let's go look at these. Weapon mount exit. You want to make sure this is set to instant. Interact and reload behavior. You want to make sure this is set to prioritize interact. Sprint cancels reload. This is another huge setting. Make sure this is set to off. Akimbo behavior, I got it set to independent. However, some people like to set it to paired. The way independent works, you're holding two guns, you're holding two pistols, akimbo or whatever. You got to click the guns individually, to shoot the left one or shoot the right one. If you got it set to paired, you just got to press your right trigger and it will shoot both of them at the same time. However, me personally, I just always grew up playing, independent. I'm an OG at the end of the day. Next up, ADS stick swap. Turn that to off. Depleted ammo switch. Turn that to off. All right, but that is it, chat. That is it for the controller settings, your aiming settings, and your movement settings. Now let's go over to our audio settings. Now, as we all know, audio is a huge factor in this game. We need to be hearing those footsteps. However, the game audio system is complete dog shit. We already know that. However, they are still trying to update it. They're still coming out with some new updates. So maybe the settings may change, or maybe footsteps might be louder over time. Who knows? But your boy playing with master game volume, set that to 90. Dialogue volume, set that to 7. We want to make sure we're hearing, enemy UAV inbound. Enemy cluster strike inbound. You're about to walk into a precision airstrike. We want to make sure we can hear that because, sometimes there's not really like a notification for it. So you want to make sure, at least the guy tells you. Next up, effects volume, turn that to 100. That is the footstep audio cues. For your speakers, you want to make sure, you're using the right headphones. Enhanced headphone mode, we got that set to on. Audio mix, we got it set to headphones. Now, I am only playing on headphones because these other settings weren't really working because the audio was trash. However, the audio did get fixed a little bit, so Sucker Punch might still be pretty good. However, I haven't tried it personally. Mono audio, you want to set that to off. Mute the game when minimized, set to off. Mute licensed music, obviously turn that off if you are a YouTuber content creator like your boy. Asymmetrical hearing, low-key you want to turn this on. Why? Because when you go to configure frequency intensity, you can actually lower some of the sounds in this game. And oh my God, Jesus Christ, feel like I just got cancer or something. All right, so what you want to do right here, this is basically turning down all the loud things. You know, like a precision airstrike, it comes through, it fucking rains hell. You want to turn that down so you can actually hear the footsteps. So with that being said, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Oh, God damn, I gotta, hold on, let me mute the game real quick. And let me take off my headphones. All right, so basically, like we said, all the loud noises, you want to turn it down. So when you go to the 10K, 8K, 6K, maybe even the 4K, put it to -50 and then set these other things, you know, at 0 for standard. These are like, you know, hearing the footstep audio. You can low-key probably increase this to make sure you can hear or boost those footstep audio cues. But yeah, this is for the left ear. And then this is for the right ear. You want to make sure, you know, you do the same thing. All right, so let's see. Next up, what do we got? Next up, what do we got? Reduce tinnitus sound. You want to make sure this is another huge setting. Turn this on. But like we said before, ladies and gentlemen, like we said before, the best audio mix, you know, the best major setting to put on is probably headphones or Sucker Punch. Next up, we're gonna go to voice chat. I pretty much got all these things set to standard. If you want to hear your enemies talking back, obviously voice chat on. You want to talk shit to them, voice chat on. Proximity chat on. You want to be talking to them while you're giving them back shots in the Diddy position. Put body shield chat on. Last words voice chat, turn that on. Game voice channel, all the lobby. I play on push to talk, obviously. All right, so we just went over all the best controller settings, the best aiming settings, the best movement settings. We just went over the best audio settings. So do me a favor right now, ladies and gentlemen, and click that like button, please. We are putting you on with all the latest Warzone tips and tricks. So do me a favor, like this video and also subscribe if you are new. If you want to see more tips and tricks, you better click that subscribe button. Yeah. All right, let's see what's up next. Let's go to interface. I'll do like the quality settings in the end. All right, so let's go over all these interface settings. Gameplay tips, you want to turn that off. Tool tips, turn that off because I believe that does mess with your performance or whatever. Next up, we got telemetry. This is where you can see your FPS, your packet loss. So I got those set on. I got my FPS counter on, server latency on, packet loss on. If you want anything else, you know, they got a clock, CPU time, VRAM. You can turn those on. It's all preference. However, you know, we do like to see if we're lagging or not. So we got that server latency on where we can see our ping and the packet loss. So yeah, go to readability, go to your color customization. You want to make sure you are playing on color filter 2 so the game looks a lot better. It doesn't look as dull. You want to make sure you're playing on color filter 2, set the color filter target to both, and play on world color intensity and interface color sensitivity. Set those to 100, makes the game look a lot better. Next up, we got gameplay HUD. Now, minimap, obviously you want to make sure your minimap is set to square. Next up, radar, turn that off. Minimap rotation, turn that on. Compass type, we got that set to horizontal. Right here, we got crosshair. Now, this is another huge setting. If you didn't know, you can actually change the color of your crosshair. You want to make sure your crosshair is set to static. Crosshair dot on. We got a center dot scale set to larger. Crosshair spread on. Opacity, we got that set to 100. Now, as far as your crosshair color, it is pretty much all preference. However, I do believe that this little light blue, this little cyan is the way to go. But let me know in the comments down below, what crosshair color are you rocking? I'm rocking this little light blue, this little cyan. I think it is pretty good to use. I think it is the best. But let me know in the comments down below if you are using anything different. What color is it? You get what I'm saying? What color is it? Bubblegum pink. Hit marker visuals, we got that on. I'm just reading through these settings, making sure we're not missing anything. I'm trying to give you all the details, ladies and gentlemen, all the details, but I'm pretty sure that is it for the interface settings. Now let's go over to the graphic settings. All right, so for the display mode, you want to make sure you're playing on full screen exclusive. You want to also make sure that you are playing at your monitor's current refresh rate. All right, next up, display resolution. I'm playing at 1440p, like I said. You want to make sure you're playing on your current monitor's refresh rate and quality. Next up, we got brightness. My brightness, I am playing at 55 brightness. NVIDIA reflex low latency, we got that set to on plus boost. Echo mode preset, we got that set to custom. VSync off, VSync menus off. Custom frame rate, I got this from Iceman Isaac. He basically said you want to make sure you're playing at gameplay custom frame rates. A lot of people set it to maximum. However, I mean, that doesn't really matter if your freaking monitor's only getting 144, right? So what he said to do is play at your current monitor's refresh rate, so 144, and then minus that by 3, and then that's what you will set for the gameplay custom frame rate. Menu custom frame rate, that's when we're in the menus just like we are now. I I got that set to 100. Out of focus, that's when you're off the tab, we put that at 40. Reduce menu render resolution, we got that set to native. Pause game rendering, set that to off. Reduce quality when active, set that to 10 minutes. Focus mode, set that to 0, and HDR, turn that off. Next up, we got the quality settings. Now, like we said, make sure you're playing at your current monitor's refresh rate and quality. Display resolution, we're playing at 1440p. Dynamic resolution, turn that off. Now, this is another huge setting right here. Upscaling and sharpening, you want to make sure you are playing on Fidelity FX Cast. Not only that, but we got our little Fidelity FX Cast strength, we got it set to 90. All these other settings don't matter. Like we said, you want to make sure you are playing on Fidelity FX Cast. No matter what system you are on, it is the best for Warzone. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation, set that to off. VRAM scale target, I got it set to 80. Variable rate shading, turn that on. Textures, like we said, we're playing for maximum performance. Texture resolution, set that to low. Texture filter, anisotropic, whatever the hell that's called, set that to high. Depth of field, we got that off. Detail quality, low. Particle resolution, very low. Bullet impacts, on. Persistent effects, off. Shader quality, low. On-demand texture streaming, minimum. We got that also set to, 16 and off. Local texture streaming quality, set that to low. Shadow quality, set that to normal. Screen space shadow, set that to off. Occlusion and screen space lighting, turn that to off. Screen space reflections, off. Static reflection quality, low. Tessellation, we got that set to off. Volumetric quality, set that to low. Deferred physics quality, set that to off. Weather grid volume quality, set that to off. Water quality, set that to off. All right, and that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We just went over all the best settings to use in Warzone within the Black Ops 6 integration. We went over the best controller settings, the best aiming settings, the best movement settings, the best audio settings, the best quality settings, the best interface settings. We went over absolutely everything. So do me a favor right now and click that like button and subscribe if you are new. I will see y'all boys in the next one. Deuces.